Hi, Michelle here from Straw-Bearie Designs, and today I'm going to show you tips and tricks for packing your kids for camp. But these packing tips could be used for any kind of trip for you or your kids. Why should you listen to me? Because I have lots of experience. I went to camp as a child. I raised 2 boys. I've also gone to camp as an adult. I have gone as a volunteer, and I've gone as a paid worker at camps. Church camps, scout camps, science camps. So stick around and I'll show you what to pack. Step 1, go and get some shorts or pants or whatever bottoms you want and have enough for every day that you're going to be at camp. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I always like to put in an extra pair just in case you fall in the mud and you get really dirty or whatever the case may be. Second, you're going to get your shirts. I got a stack of my favorite t-shirts and I'm going to put them with the shorts that I think that they match with the best. So that one I think goes good with that one. Next, you're going to do the underwear, a pair for every day. So, Sunday, Monday. The next step is for girls only, and it is bras. Now, if you have an outfit where you're going to have to wear a special bra, like it cuts in on the shoulders and you need a cross the back bra, now's the time to kind of go, oh yeah, that shirt needs that bra. That shirt's white, so I'm going to give it a beige bra. Next, you need pajamas. And may I suggest shorts and a t-shirt of some kind that are going to be your pajamas for boys or girls. We were once at a Boy Scout camporee, and in the middle of the night there was a horrible storm, and we all had to go to the one little small building in the middle of the night. We all had to evacuate, and there was one boy from our troop who went up and evacuated just wearing his whitey-tighties in a room of about 200 people, both male and female counselors and things, and he was quite embarrassed, so somebody let him borrow a rain poncho, so he sat for several hours in a rain poncho with his whitey-tighties. So you always want to have like shorts and a t-shirt so that if something happens, you're going to be decent looking if you need to like leave wherever you're at. Next, you need your swimsuit. And I suggest that with that swimsuit, you also have a swimsuit cover-up, because a lot of times your activities, you go from swimming to maybe eating, and they won't let you in the dining hall if you are just wearing your swimsuit. So you need to have a cover-up, boys and girls, could be just a t-shirt, to make sure that you can go in and eat, or whatever the other activity is going to be. Now, I always like to pack 2 swimsuits because I hate putting on a wet swimsuit. So I have one for one day, let it dry, and then wear the other one the next day. And I just picked up this year a swim shirt that is long sleeve, a rash guard, and this is a wonderful way to help prevent sunburns. So if you can pick up a rash guard for your kids, then they don't have to worry about putting on sunscreen while they're at camp. Next, you need a pair of jeans or long pants. Now, even if you're someplace hot, like where I live, it's going to be 111 with the heat index today, but you still need a pair of long pants. Let me tell you why. Horseback riding, you need long pants. Hiking through tall weeds, you need long pants. If you're going to Boy Scout camp and you are taking the life-saving merit badge, you have to jump into the pool fully clothed with long pants on, take them off in the pool, blow them up, and use them as a flotation device. So long pants are a must. Now, I would also suggest a long sleeve shirt. I'm getting a very lightweight one just to kind of help cover from the sun because it's so hot. If you're going someplace where it might be a little cooler up in the mountains, you might want one that actually would provide some warmth for you. The last piece of clothing that you need to pack is going to be something for dress up. Now, if you're a boy, I would suggest something like a polo shirt. If you're going to scout camp, of course, that would be your full Class A scout uniform. If you're a girl, I would suggest a light summer dress. Some church camps require that you wear a dress to chapel. I learned that the hard way one year and had to wear the same dress every single night. So check the rules of your camp, check what they suggest for you to pack, and have maybe one dressier outfit just in case. Now notice that I've laid everything out on my bed, and I do this on purpose. I don't want to put it in my suitcase yet because I just want to kind of visually see everything that I have to make sure that I have everything that I need. A lot of camps are going to require closed-toed shoes. You do not want to bring your bright white brand new tennis shoes because they're going to get dirty. So you want to bring last year's tennis shoes or something that you don't mind getting dirty. The science camp that I'm going to is almost all water related, so I'm going to be taking some sandals that have good support so I can walk around in them, and they are also water shoes. So you're going to need a pair of water shoes. But even at my science camp, there's one day when we're going caving, and it's usually very, very muddy, so I need my old tennies for that. You also need a pair of cheap flip-flops, like dollar store flip-flops, so that you can wear them in the shower. I can't find any, so I'm going to have to stop at Dollar Tree before I head for camp. Now, luggage. If you're going to be sleeping out in a big canvas tent, like at Scout Camp, I suggest one of these. You can put it at the end of your cot or your sleeping bag, and you can use it as an extra place to sit, and it can carry everything that you need. It also has wheels so that you can roll it to where you need to do if your child's not real strong and can't carry a ton. And it's much easier than carrying a whole bunch of bags. The camp that I'm going to next week, we are going to be spending the first several days in a college dorm room, and then we're all going to be going to a bunkhouse where we're all sharing a very small space. So I am opting for a big suitcase, and then I will have another bag that will have my bedding in it. Now, you do not want to take your nice suitcase with your wheels and everything to an outdoor camp where you're going to be dragging it through the dirt and the mud. But for my inside dorm room and then the bunkhouse, I'm going to be fine with my suitcase. I do make sure that my suitcase is short enough that I can slide it underneath my bed because there's not a lot of room in there, and then I can pull it out when I need it. And then I'm just keeping my bedding in like this big laundry bag. It's just kind of a real easy way to put it there. You also want to take a day pack. It can be one of the cheap little drawstring backpacks, or it can be a regular size backpack, but you need something that you can carry your water bottle and your sunscreen and your towel as you're going from activity to activity during your camp, whatever your activities are. Scout camp, you would need to put your scout book in it. Church camp, you probably need to put your Bible in it. So you need a small day pack to carry your stuff around. Another bag that I suggest that you have is a dirty clothes hamper bag that you can just put all of the dirty clothes in when you are done wearing them, so they're all stinky and gross, and they're not going to get your clean clothes stinky and gross. And as you can see, I got this bag back in 1980 for selling Girl Scout cookies, so I know what I'm talking about. Now that you have everything all spread out on your bed, it is time to start actually packing the suitcase. Now, I recommend that you teach your young children, and by the time they're like in middle school, they're doing it on their own. Don't be that helicopter mom who always packs everything for them. And after you've taught them how to pack, after a couple of times, then maybe you just give reminders. Did you pack your toothbrush? Did you pack your swimsuit? Did you pack your sunscreen? And just kind of give them those reminders. And then once they're middle school, you really shouldn't be helping them pack. They need to be doing it on their own. And if they forget something, guess what? They are going to learn that they need to pack that next time. And they'll always remember after that. If you just do it for them all the time, they're never going to learn. For the packing, what I do, you take your shorts, fold them in half, lay them on your bed. Take your shirt, kind of fold it in half, lay it on top of the shorts. Take your underwear, put that on top, and then you're going to roll this together, okay? It keeps your clothes from getting too wrinkled. It keeps the outfits together. Some people will put them all in their individual Ziploc bags. Maybe that's okay for younger kids, but I don't think it's really necessary because the rolls are going to keep the outfits together. Now, I actually still do this when I travel now, except for the underwear. I will roll my shorts and my shirt up together, or my tops and my bottoms, and then I will just have a separate section of all the underwear because I know to change my underwear every day. I don't have to be reminded of that. Even with the jeans, I'm going to roll those up. And it's not really any bigger than any of the shorts ones. Your swimsuit cover-up, especially if you have, you know, a two-piece swimsuit, rolling them up together is also a good idea. And I like to keep that kind of towards the top of the suitcase because a lot of times the first day of camp you get to go do a swim test, or they have some kind of special thing where you get to go swimming to start off the week. And for females, make sure that your swimsuit is modest. You want to make sure that you're following the rules. And if the camp has a rule that you can't wear two-piece swimsuits or something like that, you need to make sure that you are following that rule. Pajamas. I always put the pajamas at the top because you know they're going to need them the first night. Now that I have everything all nicely rolled up in my suitcase, I need to pull one out. So I'm going to wear this outfit on my way to camp, so it doesn't need to be in my suitcase. I'm going to set that out on my dresser so that I know to wear that the day that I leave. Now I'm going to take my shoes, and you could put them in bags, but honestly, are your kids going to remember to put them in bags on the way home? I don't think so. So what you do is you want to put the sole side towards the outsides of your suitcase. So just put them around the edges, and that will help try to keep it just a little bit cleaner. And it's something that you can teach the kids. The last thing you do is you put your shoes in and you put them on the outsides. And then it keeps everything just a little bit cleaner, even when kids are involved. Next, we move on to toiletries. And my number one tip for probably the whole packing for camp would be to get yourself an old lanyard and then hang your shampoo and conditioner and body wash from your lanyard. Now, I used to have an old sample size that had a little hook through it, but I couldn't find those when I went shopping recently. So what I did is I found the hand sanitizer bottles that have the little straps so you can put them on your backpack. And I just transferred my shampoo and conditioner and body wash to one of these straps. Also attached a small little poof to the little clasp, and this makes it so that you can hook this over the shower head. A lot of times when you're at camp and the showers, they're kind of nasty. The floor is nasty and there's no soap dish and there's no place to actually set your stuff. So this is really nice to be able to hang it up in the shower. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my wet bag. So in my wet bag, I've had this for a long time, I have my razor in there, and I'm just going to stick all of this in there too, so that these items might be my wet items and they won't get anything else in my toiletries wet because I can seal them up and all the wet stuff is contained in here. You could just use a sandwich-sized Ziploc bag, would work perfectly well for this. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in maybe a gallon-size Ziploc bag. I have this other bag that I've just been using for a long time. You're going to need toothbrush and toothpaste, but honestly, the whole toiletry thing, they are not going to shower or brush their teeth as often as you want them to. In my Boy Scout troop, when we went to summer camp, we would always make the boys shower twice. They had to shower halfway through the week, and sometimes we would even have the body wash and we would just give everybody a squirt as they were going into the shower because they hadn't even brought their own. And we would also make them shower the day before we came home so that maybe they didn't smell quite so bad on the trip back. All right, so you're also going to need deodorant if your kids are old enough for deodorant. And you're going to need powder. Some kind of powder, especially if you're going where it's hot, especially if you live in the South, because we get this thing called monkey butt and chafing is real and you don't want chafing. So have some powder and then a hairbrush. And if you have long hair, whole bunch of hair ties. Not exactly toiletries, but much needed items. Maybe they get their own Ziploc bag. So you put things in a Ziploc bag so that in case anything spills or leaks, it doesn't get on your clothes. You're going to need some mosquito repellent, and you're going to need some sunscreen. Now, I really like having the spray sunscreen because the kids can do it themselves and they're not having to touch each other, but also having a bottle of sunscreen because I think this works better. So this can be the, their face and the places where it's easier for them to get, and maybe the spray for their back. If your kid does not use body wash and they'd rather use a bar of soap, the hotel size soaps are plenty big, so just stick that in the wet bag instead of the body wash. Socks. I almost forgot the socks. Make sure you pack some socks. Your child is also going to need a towel. Now, I always suggest taking 2 towels. One that they can use at the swimming pool or the lake or whatever, and another one that they can use in the shower, so that one's not completely soaking wet when they do take a shower. Now, I just bought this, and it's called a towel. It feels more like a tablecloth. It's called a Turkish beach towel, and I tried it this morning after the shower, and it kind of worked pretty good. So I'm going to take this because it takes up so little space. Look at that. It's teeny tiny. And so I'm going to be taking this time, see how well it works. And if you want, I can let you know afterwards. Some other things to take. You want to take a flashlight. Kids in a new place, some things can be scary. You can be there after dark. So a good flashlight, just a little one like this one from Harbor Freight, is just perfect. But I also recommend these little lights that you can get for free from Harbor Freight because you can hit the button and they turn on here. You can hit it again and they turn on that way. So like when you're walking, it works like a normal flashlight. But like when it's this way, it also has a hook so you can hang it up someplace like from under your bunk, and it has a magnet on it as well. So like if it's a metal bunk, you can stick it to there, and it just comes in really, really handy in tents and things. You need a water bottle, and a large water bottle, and you need to have your name on it because there's going to be a lot, and the counselors are going to find the water bottle sitting around someplace and wonder who it belongs to, and if the name's on it, they can give it back. In fact, you should really label all your clothes. You do not know what kids do. They throw everything out of their suitcases and everything goes every which way. And there's always, when you're cleaning up, you're like, whose shorts are these? Whose t-shirt's this? And it's really hard to find who it belongs to. And that's why you lose clothes when the kids go to camp. I always get a water bottle that has some kind of loop here so I can get a carabiner, and then I can attach that to my day pack, or I can attach it to my belt loop so that I always have my water bottle with me. If you're going to a scout camp and you have been signed off to bring one, a pocket knife is always a fun thing to bring. So you can take your Bible, especially if you're going to church camp, but of course it's great to read your Bible all the time. And a lot of camps will have a quiet time in the afternoon, just a time for kids to take a nap and to recharge or read a book, and just some quiet time. So having their Bible might be a good idea. Or bringing maybe some other book to read if they can read a book. And also I would bring some paper and a pen so they can write down some of their thoughts, some of the things that they see. If it's I'm going to science camp, maybe some of the things that they learned, they can write down maybe the phone numbers of the friends that they meet, a lot of things. So a pad of paper and a pen is a good idea. Now let's talk about some of the things they do not need to bring. Unless the camp is like a electronics computer science camp, they do not need to bring their phones. In fact, it makes it worse. There are many, many times when campers have snuck in their phones or been allowed to have their phones, and they text or call mom and dad, and then they get homesick. I know it sounds kind of mean and it sounds kind of cruel, but if you're constantly texting your kid and asking them, how are you doing? Have you made any friends? They're going to miss you so much that it's going to be difficult for them to enjoy themselves and have fun. Most of the time, camp is about doing activities, being out in nature, doing something besides playing on their electronics. So leave the phones at home. If your kid normally takes medicine, you need to send the medicine in the regular prescription bottles. Don't just dump the pills out in a Ziploc bag because then nobody knows what they are and it looks kind of bad. Regular prescription bottle with their name on it, put it in a Ziploc bag and put their name on it and give it to the camp counselor so that they can give the medicine to your child. They can give it at the right times. They can be reminded. Kids would forget if they do it on their own. Now, if your kid normally takes medicine for ADHD and you think, you know what? I don't think I'm going to send them with their medicine for ADHD for camp. We'll see how they do without it. Please don't. I get it. You might want to try to see if your child still needs it and if you can wean them off. But please do that when you're around, not when someone else who doesn't even know your kid is around. I remember going on just a weekend camp out, and there's this one kid on the van who was just talk. I mean, like for 3 hours straight, he never stopped talking. And finally, the other counselor in the van with me was like, hey, did you bring your meds? And the kid was like, oh no, I didn't bring them this weekend. And we were just like, oh, great. Now, what you don't need to bring or send with your child are vitamins, okay? They are going to survive if they don't have their vitamins for 1 week. It's really kind of a hassle for the counselors to have to divvy out the medicines every day. And if you're just giving them vitamins, yeah, they can skip a week from that. So the next thing that I want to talk about is bedding. Now, if they are going to be in a bunkhouse or sleeping on cots or in a dorm, they're probably going to be sleeping on plastic mattresses, which are not very much fun to sleep on when it's hot. You get sticky, it's kind of gross. So, a fitted sheet, a twin fitted sheet is always good so that there's at least something between you and that plastic mattress. Now, you can take a sleeping bag. I personally don't really like to take sleeping bags to camp because sleeping bags are they feel kind of plasticky and they make me sweat. So I like to just take a regular comforter, and I can use that comforter if it's hot as kind of extra padding so that I don't have to just feel that uncomfortable cot mattress. And then maybe a top sheet so that if it's hot, I have something to kind of cover up, but you know, if I need something on me, but it's not a whole lot. Every camp that I've ever been to serves 3 meals a day. Maybe it's camp food, maybe it's not gourmet, but they're not going to starve. They don't need a whole lot of snacks. If your child sneaks in, say, some candy bars in the bottom of his sleeping bag, and it's a hot day, and those candy bars melt, and then the ants find them, you have ruined their entire camping experience. Yes, I do know a child that happened to. If there are bears in the area, yeah, you don't want that. You don't want all the junk food. Now, a lot of times they will have a place where they can buy snacks. So I would send some money for that because that's almost more of a social thing. Hey, it's snack time. We're all going to go get ices. And that's kind of the big deal. So yes, send some money for those snacks, but you really don't have to send any snacks on your own. Well, I think I'm done packing. I think I'm ready for camp. If there's anything that I've forgotten, please leave it in the comments below, hopefully before I leave, so that I can add it to my stuff. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends who might have kids going to camp sometime soon, and have a great day going to camp.